If you took your real estate exam and you say you read every single word of every single reading they gave, that's lies. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we're going to be talking about the Colorado real estate exam and how you can pass it in 2 months. So the first step, probably the most obvious step, is to actually enroll in a school. Originally, my plan was to enroll in community college classes for 6 months. Luckily, my girl Maddie over at Your Castle was like, honey, don't do that. Like, don't waste 6 months of your life when you could probably get it done in half the time. What Maddie had suggested was to enroll in an online course. She recommended Colorado Real Estate School. I paid about $400 and you have 6 months to complete the whole course. When I originally signed up for the courses, they said that if I did at least 1 unit a day, every day, that I would get it done in 3 months. And I was like, why would I do that when I can just do 2 units a day and get it done in 1 month or a month and a half? And that was my original plan, was to do 2 units a day every day. Although I had a consistent schedule, I'm not gonna lie, I did not 100% stick to it, but I did my absolute best to. I made it a point to touch on the courses every single day. You're basically ensuring that you're going to obtain all this information that you're learning and it's gonna stay relevant and fairly new in your head. How the schooling works is basically there's a few chapters, and within the chapters there are units. Now, to pass from the first unit to the second unit, you have to take a quiz and pass it. When I first started the courses, I started making flashcards of every single quiz question I had. I thought that I'd be doing myself a favor by preparing these review questions for later, but in fact, I was actually kind of wasting my own time. Before I was done with the first chapter, I had a fat stack of cards this big. I did review them prior to my test, but essentially, I really did not touch those cards one bit. The method that I chose to move forward with was just getting through the classes, taking those quizzes, and then moving on to the next section so that I could cram at the end of the course once I had received my certificate from the schooling program itself. The first couple of units were actually super easy. I did have a background in real estate investing prior to getting my license, so I think that kind of helped a little bit, but it does get more complex as you go, and I will warn you, it gets pretty boring. Like, boring. Especially when you get to the contract section and it's just someone talking and reviewing a contract for like 2-3 hours. It's almost impossible to stay awake. I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep a few times. In the beginning of some of the units, they give you vocab. So all the vocab terms that they gave me, I put it into Quizlet. I downloaded that app so when I was out, I could look at the vocab words and I'd go through those flashcards just so I did make sure that I was touching on it every single day. I think that's really a big thing, studying it and then leaving it for a week or two. I think that completely distracts you. If you really want to get it done, you need to completely take a lot of things out of your life and focus on that specifically. You might feel like maybe you don't have as much of a life for 2 months or 3 months, but the return is gonna be way better, right? You're investing in yourself, you're investing in your future. Put everything aside and focus on this, because once you're done, being a real estate agent is really fun. You get to have a life again, right? As I mentioned before, my strategy was basically to just get to the end of the course and just cram. So what I did was skim the readings. Great to read it all. Skim it. Make sure you know what the content is about when you're watching those videos. Listen to what they're saying. Even if you're doing something else, pay attention. Those videos are going to be probably the most important part of the classes. I'd say definitely more than the readings. Once I did get to the end of it, they have a state exam and a national exam that you must pass through the course before you take it through the state board. Through Colorado Real Estate School, the big tests that you had to pass were like 200, maybe like 100 something questions. Those questions were what I had focused on the most. Really, that last section, once you get past all of the specifics and it's just a more general understanding of what's going to be on the test, that was what I spent a lot of time on. I'd say I spent about 2 weeks with those practice exams. I would take those practice exams about 2 to 3 times a day. So 2 to 3 times a day, about 200 questions is a lot of questions. It's kind of a test of memorization. There's some math involved and, something you're going to have to do a little bit of thinking on. But for the most part, a lot of it is memorization and vocabulary. In the days leading up to the exam, when I wasn't doing the practice quizzes, I would also watch YouTube videos and listen to podcasts. I really just kind of drowned myself in real estate for those 2 months, and I think it did a lot of benefit for me. I'm going to link a couple of the videos that I would watch in the description below. Make sure you read everything slowly. super slowly and make sure you read it 2 or 3 times to make sure you fully understand. And remember that there's not only trick questions, but there's also trick answers, right? So just one word can completely throw off what you think you're reading. And that is that, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are considering getting your real estate license and have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comment bar, and I would love to give you my 2 cents on it. Till then, don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn at Brokergayane. Hit that little notification button so you get notified whenever I post a video every Wednesday. All right, everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying healthy. I will see you next Wednesday. Bye, guys.